agriculture is very important both for Indian economy as well as for your UPSC examination. So with respect to that, one new thing is what we will be seeing today, that is the Krishi Decision Support System. Okay, so this is a new innovation, or you can say a new platform which is going to help the farmers to take decision. It is going to support, it will act as a support system for their decision making. So we can estimate what all things which it will include in order to help the farmers take decision. We will look at it in detail, of course. So it is in news because it has been recently launched. Okay, and of course by whom? The Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare has launched the Krishi DSS, that is the Krishi Decision Support System. Now, this particular Krishi Decision Support System is part of our Agriculture 4.0. So what is Agriculture 4.0? This may not be clear, so I will read it out, not a problem, don't worry about that. So to come to Agriculture 4.0, we will start from the very initial stage. You know, the very first time that agriculture actually took place. At that particular time, it was not even surplus. Surplus also came very late. When the first agriculture, you know, in NCERTs you will find the history of the first time rice was cultivated or rice was grown, so on and so forth. So that was our agriculture, even that was not our Agriculture 1.0. That was, let's say, subsistence. Or you can term it as 1.0, wherein just the agriculture actually started. We started doing that. Before that, what was the scene? The scene was humans were hunter-gatherers, just like animals, lions, tigers, etc., etc. Every day, wake up, go, hunt, eat, hunt or collect berries, hunters and gatherers, hunting of animals for food, for skin, gathering of berries and fruits and stuff again to eat, or let's say gathering of leaves and all to cover themselves as food, as clothes. So food, clothes, even animal skin was used as clothes, and then create shelter with all the tree barks and branches, etc. So that was the life. But then agriculture started, which was Agriculture 1.0, and manpower was utilized. Later on, there was involvement of animal forces as well as simple tools. Very simple tools were used. That is your Agriculture 1.0. Then comes Agriculture 2.0. Now this Agriculture 2.0 is going to coincide with your Industrial Revolution. So when we talk about Industrial Revolution, of course we think of big machineries. Being developed in industries, and industries using big machineries to create more machineries for industrial sector. Of course that can be thought of, but very important in that industrial revolution was the slight technological advancement that took place in the field of agriculture, right? For example, the way the plows were made, right, how the plowing was done, sowing was done, that became faster. So agriculture became very efficient. So Agriculture 2.0 coincided with Industrial Revolution. Okay, so Industrial Revolution was also happening, and through that Industrial Revolution you were getting machinery for the usage in agriculture. So this coincided, and those things reinforced each other. Requirement in agriculture will lead to demand in the industries, and production in the industry will help make agriculture more technologically advanced and more efficient. Then comes Agriculture 3.0. In 2.0, machineries were involved. In 3.0, now the computer programs are getting involved. And then today, at present, what is going on is Agriculture 4.0. In Agriculture 4.0, we are coming up with more smart systems and smart solutions. Like for example, everything is now, we talk about Internet of Things, wherein everything will be connected to the Internet. The clothes you are wearing will be connected to the Internet. Specs you are wearing, of course, now you have Google specs and all, so that is anyhow connected, but the clothes and everything will get connected to the Internet. So it's becoming smarter and smarter and smarter. So Agriculture 4.0 is about smart systems and smart devices. Now this Krishi Decision Support System is a part of Agriculture 4.0. Okay, so what is it? Let us understand that what this actually is. It is a geospatial platform for agriculture. Geospatial platform. Geospatial, basically Earth observing satellites are there which observe Earth, give you information. So that is geospatial. The space on this particular Earth is being observed. So it is a geospatial platform for agriculture. So it will provide certain things. What all things it will provide? Satellite images, weather data, reservoir storage, groundwater levels, and soil health information. These are the important things. Satellite images you will be getting as to understand how that field is. Weather data you will be getting the past weather data, and based on that the forecast, not just based on the past but also on the estimation. With the help of the satellites you will get the weather data, which is very important. You should know beforehand whether it will be a drought season or not, and also daily weather forecast also you should know, so that you could be prepared. Just a simple example I'll give you. It is not just about complete drought and flood, but a simple example. Today let's say I want to, the crops have certain requirement, so I have an irrigation system. Now irrigation system need not just is there to give water, but also to regulate the amount of water. So how can we do that? If today I was supposed to give my crops 1 centimeter of water, right, or 0.1 centimeter of water, very small amount of water, but so 0.1 centimeter of water through my irrigation system. Now I get to know that today there is a forecast of rainfall. So what I'll do is I will not start my irrigation system and not give water through irrigation system, because rain is already about to happen. If I get to know there is no rain, then I may give it, right? If I did not have this information, then what happens? I start giving water through irrigation, that is 0.1 centimeter, plus rain also happens, that is again 0.1 centimeter for example. So what has happened? The crops needed 0.1 centimeter, you have provided 0.2, you have provided double, right? And if rain is more, it could go to triple and quadruple. So at least I could have ensured that I don't provide this, so that a lot of it is offset with the rain. So that is how the data on a regular basis helps you. Not just a complete thing whether it is going to be drought or flood or this, but regular data and beforehand data. That is how it helps you. So weather data, reservoir storage, availability of water, groundwater levels helps you to pre-decide what crop you should grow. Now the growing of the crop can get affected due to, of course, minimum support price and various other things. But if you look at it, groundwater level should also be one of the factors, in fact very important factors, so as to ensure the groundwater levels does not go further. Because if the groundwater level is low, you should not be growing water guzzling crops like rice, sugarcane, etc. Okay, then of course the soil health. It will facilitate the soil health card system, which is already present, so soil health also it will take. Now it will include what? Modules of crop mapping. Modules of crop mapping as to at which place what crops. This is also going to help in your insurance scheme as well, because you send the photo which is geotag, you send it, the government, the insurance provider already knows that yes, the crops are actually damaged, so that makes the claims also faster. Drought monitoring will happen, of course. Crop weather watch, field parcel segmentation, soil information and ground truth data. What is actually happening on the ground? How much production? Just by the photographic mapping of the field, you can actually estimate, when the standing crop is there, you can estimate the amount of output that it will generate. So everything can be estimated. Knowledge is power, information is power, and you are going to get everything with the help of the Krishi decision making system. Now what is the function? It will analyze the cropping patterns. So individually it will help the farmers, but at a broad level it is also going to help the government, because the government can analyze the cropping pattern. What is the cropping pattern? Oh, it is monocropping, multi-cropping. All those things are going to help to come up with various policy decisions as well. Encourages sustainable agriculture, of course. It offers real-time information and drought indicators. Of course, it's real-time. It is real-time. It is not that after happening you are telling this has happened. It is real-time. Right now, what is the forecast? And understand, even the forecast can change. I can predict with the help of the weather data system that 2 days later there is going to be rain. Maybe tomorrow the system has changed. So real-time information you will keep on getting. right? Because it should not happen today. You tell me tomorrow it's gonna rain, but 2 hours later the prediction has changed, so I don't know. I should get to know as and when the changes are happening. That is why real-time information is very important. Tracks the weather impacts on crops. Yes, it will do that also. Provides comprehensive soil data for crop suitability and conservation. So based on that, one policy decision that the government can come up is, when they are tracking all the soil health, groundwater level, they can come up with specific MSP in specific regions for specific crops. Or else what happens is, everyone then wants to grow wheat and rice, right? And even the water table is not good because MSP is ensured. So in certain regions where groundwater level is low, you can have emphasis on MSP on other things as well. So a lot of policy decisions can be made over here. What is the purpose? Of course, to empower farmers. Farmers, this is at the individual or the farmers level, inform policies at the government level, and promote agriculture innovation and sustainability. Because right now Indian agriculture is in agriculture 4.0 globally, it's fine, but there are phases also, and agriculture in India is at the third phase. First phase was to provide as much as you need. Second phase was to that was physical accessibility. That was the first phase of Indian agriculture. Second phase was, let me write down, phase 1 of Indian agriculture was physical accessibility, meaning you grow as much as required by your citizens. Physical accessibility. Second phase was, now we started growing after Green Revolution, we started growing as much as we needed, but people did not have money. So second phase talked about economic accessibility. And mind you, these phases are continuing. When second phase started, this does not mean first phase ended or the target of first phase ended. It is every year on year you need to achieve that. So economic accessibility. And now third is ecological accessibility, meaning growing crops as much as you want in proper price so that people can afford you, at the same time sustainably, organically, so that you do not hamper the environment. So ecological accessibility. And right now, since we are in the third phase, all three phases are, or all three targets are being try to achieve simultaneously. Right. This is going to support development of farmer-centric solutions and early disaster warning, which is of course going to help farmers' income. Because the farmer's income in agriculture is very uncertain, that is why animal rearing related activities are given so importance, which is good. But at the same time, this is a move towards making farmers' income more stable. Stable farmers' income and moving towards achieving the government's target of doubling farmers' income. So this is all about your Krishi decision. Let me just check the exact full form. Krishi Decision Support System. Thank you.